Hey friends, it's Theo again, and we're gonna speak in this video about the 5 marketing tools that every startup needs. And those tools will be affordable for any budget. So let's start. Before we start, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Theo from Planet Growth. We're helping B2B founders reach 1 million ARR in 12 months with sales and marketing systems. In this channel, I'm sharing all the methods and weekly learnings that we have with founders, so if you're interested in learning more, subscribe to this channel. So when you start off a company, the first things you have to do and the first worries you have is how to get clients. And to do that, you need the right tools so that you're battle-proof and succeed. So it is essential that you actually use the best tools out there, but also that those tools are cost-effective and have an ROI to your bottom line. So in this video, I will analyze the 5 tools that I have every client of mine using so they kick off their marketing. So tool number 1 is Hotjar. A leaking sales funnel can be frustrating. After all, it takes money and time to build one, so it has to convert, right? Plug those leaks with Hotjar. Hotjar will actually allow you to track back and see what each user does in your website. It is amazing that you can just record the screen of any user, see their actions, see where they stop and what content they find interesting. You can understand and use some qualitative data to better position your brand or even make changes that would just skyrocket your conversions. Especially when you're running ads, Hotjar is the most essential tool you use. Tool number 2, and it's one of my favorites, is Jasper. So it was formerly known as Harvest AI, and this tool is just amazing. It will actually allow you to create content at scale even if you're one person. Imagine that you have an AI assistant that just writes down content for you. You just drop ideas, you say to him how you want this to move, and then what it does is that it actually just creates content itself. You can see an example of how it's used right here on my screen, and trust me, the results will amaze you. Also, all the content you create and all the blog posts you create will rank for SEO. So make sure that you use the right keywords when you actually use Jasper, because Jasper will just do the SEO for you. Number 3. And this is also one of my favorite ones, and it's one guy that I really like, and this is Dave Gerhardt, and he is the head of marketing at Drift. He used to be fair, but my point here is that this tool is amazing, right? So these might come a bit biased because I have a lot of connections in Drift, like their head of marketing or their head of sales. But for me, Drift is one of the best tools out there when it comes to chatbots and messaging. And when you run ads and you drive traffic to your website, it is essential that you grab the attention of the user and the viewer anytime. And this is what chatbots actually allow you. And Drift is one of the best marketing tools out there to use as a chatbot, because if you're a founder or a marketer and you want actually a tool that would just skyrocket your conversions in your website, then go with Drift. It has personalization, it has a lot of visual aid for the user, which makes it more engaging, and the chatbot itself is super easy and friendly to use, and to be honest, it has the most powerful segmentation that I've seen out there. So go out there and use Drift and the results will amaze you. Tool number 4, and this is not else than ActiveCampaign. So I have been saying forever, and you have seen me in my previous videos talking about HubSpot and how useful HubSpot is and how amazing HubSpot is. And it is. It really is. The problem with HubSpot is that it's extremely expensive for startups. And that's why I believe that when you start off and you just want to kick off, what you would use is actually a lower ticket value product that just gives you the same value. And especially if you're a low ticket company that actually needs to have a lot of account abandonment and stuff like that, then ActiveCampaign is actually a really good solution for you. So you can actually create automations, you can download contacts, you can send direct emails to people and all that without having the burden of adding new contacts and getting charged every time. And all that with a really easy to use UI that you can see in the screen. It might look that I'll be advertising ActiveCampaign, but honestly, this is not the case. For me, it's just a simple tool that can actually get you what you want in terms of marketing automation with just a really low cost. So when you go and sign up for ActiveCampaign, just do that and make sure that you actually use the tool to the best of its abilities. Go through the training because it has so much potential. When it comes to reporting, I would say that ActiveCampaign is actually a bit bad, and when it comes to sales and marketing communication, then it is just a killer. But if you want to just kick off, have some marketing emails, and instead of using MailChimp or anything else, you want some more extensive workflows that actually do things that people would actually convert to, then ActiveCampaign is a great option out there to resolve that issue. But if you're more into communicating with sales and marketing, then I would still stick to HubSpot. And last but not least is something that actually everybody knows and uses, but for me it is essential to put it in this place because I think that it's essential for any person to know what the traffic of their website is, etc. And I'm not referring to anything else but Google. I think Google is actually, and Google Analytics and all the Google products are an amazing way to understand how your site performs. It's like having someone reviewing your store when we were all offline, right? So it was having an architect and telling you, okay, this is how the people would evolve in the store and this is the flow that they should have. Well, you can all have that with Google Analytics, and this is the amazing, powerful platform that Google has built because it gives you accurate data around not only the people who visit your page, but where they come from and what actually works and doesn't work for your website. So make sure that you actually have and track Google Analytics. And what I do with my teams is that we have in the calendar every week, every 7 days basically, to actually go and check Google Analytics to see and compare the results of the previous week. Don't just forget about it because you just plugged and played, right? Just go and use it to actually understand how you're doing and what your activities are driving. So just put on the calendar that day that would just skyrocket your understanding of your website traffic and would make sense, and use Google Analytics to track that back. So thanks for sticking until the end. If you're still here, this makes me super happy. It means that it was interesting for you. What I'd like to say is that you can like this video and subscribe to this channel, as I will be uploading every week. And thanks again for watching the video. Keep daydreaming. Bye.